Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back to your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP. So let's just dive in and let's start off with this tweet here. So we do see from Binance that they actually just secured a partnership with Georgia. This is the country, not the state, with crypto payments. This is pretty big. And we do see Binance Pay partners with CityPay.io, allowing users in the region to not only secure Wendy's with crypto, and that's right, Wendy's is the fast food place, but also spend at more than 600 other vendors, including major hotels, restaurants, and supermarkets. Global crypto adoption. And yeah, this is actually pretty cool. I actually think that when we take a look at crypto payments, this is how things should be done. You have an entity like Binance that is allowing exposure to crypto payments. I think that this is awesome. Now, we will most likely we probably won't see this in the US for some time. I know that you can make some crypto payments within the US here and there, but for the most part, I think that we are going to see a major crackdown from the SEC very soon. We're starting to see them continue to, spew their nonsense. We'll talk about it here in a second. But I do think that outside of the US, there is a major acceleration happening around crypto adoption. And let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And also, if you do support crypto in the fight against the SEC, definitely smash that like button if you haven't already. But over here we do see from the UAE. So the UAE recently talked about becoming a crypto hub. Well, we just seen the UAE to launch a free zone for digital and virtual asset firms. 100% ownership of their businesses and have different regulatory frameworks and tax schemes. What the hell is the US doing? The UAE is absolutely killing it. This is amazing. I think that this is incredible. I think that as we do focus on crypto outside of the US, things are being done right. This is incredible. I personally love to see this. I think that this is awesome. We do see that the free zone will be dedicated to digital and virtual asset service providers and emerging technologies, such as the metaverse, blockchain, utility tokens, virtual asset wallets, non-fungible tokens, decentralized autonomous organizations, decentralized applications, and also other Web3 related businesses. We are building the free zone of the future for companies of the future. As the world's first free zone solely dedicated to digital and virtual asset companies, we look forward to supporting the ambitions of entrepreneurs from around the world. This is awesome. And yeah, I really do think that this is what we need in the US. Like, we need to have some sort of regulatory shift. We need to get rid of these suits. These individuals wearing suits are just not, it's not good and beneficial for the scene at all. But also, we also do see Japan and Asia appear ready to take full advantage of how far behind the United States has become relative to crypto adoption and regulatory clarity. I really feel like the crypto industry is sleeping on this Japan story. And yeah, did you guys see what is happening outside of the US, specifically within Japan and Asia? I mean, they are so bullish on crypto. They're moving forward on regulations. They're moving forward on adopting crypto. I mean, it's only a matter of time. And if you guys did want to read all about this, you guys can go check out Rebecca Reddick, one over on Twitter, where she does discuss the idea of Web3 and the future of Web3 and Japan as well, becoming a giant around the Web3 and crypto scene. I mean, outside, like I said, outside of the US, like, things are moving very, very fast. And I do believe that as we focus on the bigger picture around things, specifically with, like, if you look at the fourth industrial revolution, adoptions of CBDC, if you will, whatever, all of it is thriving outside of the US. And again, like I said, the SEC, well, they're back on their bullshit again. Check this out. Robinhood faces SEC investigation over crypto business. Like, I'm not even shocked at this. Is anybody else shocked at this? Because, like, this is ridiculous. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, this was probably, it was only a matter of time. Robinhood was very adamant about being on the crypto hype train during 2021. I remember when they were talking about Dogecoin all the time. They already had, I think there was I think there was a few other assets. I know that they had Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. Like all the typical ones, even the legacy gems like Bitcoin Cash in them. But I think that this is interesting. I think that this is again painting the picture that the SEC does not want crypto at all in the U.S. Like this is absolutely ridiculous. Now also library, they had a few words. By far the best chance for cryptocurrency in the US is Ripple. There are other crypto players in the US that could be playing offense, but are not. This means it's basically all on XRP to save us all. No pressure or anything. And yeah, I mean, we see Johnny Dean responding with the video that he made over a year ago, where it was talking about the SEC versus Ripple. Every coin is in danger. Now, listen, at the end of the day, we know that something very, very big is brewing. And it's his case. The decision in this case, it's a massive one. And it's brewing. It's been brewing for over 2 years now. And I ask all of you, please comment down below. How much longer do you think we need to wait? Because as we look at things happening around this space, as we look at regulatory discussions and the need for regulatory clarity, you know, I ask myself, like, how much longer can we wait? In the US at least. Because, like I said, outside of the US, things are moving extremely fast. Now, I also seen Bloomberg TV post this video. It's 2 minutes and 37 seconds. And it's talking about how China is leading the way when it comes to CBDCs and the overall thoughts from the Crypto Council for Innovation within the US. So listen closely to this video.
There is so much we want to talk to him about, but first let's just start with the CBDC question. Where are we on that here in the US, and how far out front is China?
Well, the U.S. is, I think, sort of on the sidelines, doing some good work, doing research. But if you think about the rest of the world, China is actually leading the way. China has been working on a pilot since 2014, working on its central bank digital currency, has already sort of had millions of transactions, millions of wallets, and has an array of pilots that are in the hands of people testing out smart contracts and programmability of money. So they actually have data that they're iterating on, and they're helping other countries with standards and collaborating on CBDC to CBDC transactions. So I'd say we're behind, although it doesn't mean that it's a race where we have to do exactly what China's doing, but the conversation globally is happening, and China is well positioned to influence that conversation.
How concerning is that from a security perspective, given your background on that and on counterterrorism and some of these other issues? You have special insight into this.
Yes, and I think the backdrop to this is that there's really a geopolitical context to all of this, and we have to make sure that we're not losing the forest for the trees. The geopolitical backdrop is that around the world there is now, I don't know if it's a race, but there's certainly a march towards finding alternative ways for new digital financial infrastructure, basically how to do cross-border transactions in a way where you're not relying the same way on traditional banking infrastructure. That's happening, whether we want to like it or not. And it's not just China. Of course, China has its project, but other countries in the EU, the UK, Japan, other parts of East Asia are all trying to figure out a way to innovate with payments. Now, the geopolitical implication there is if there is an alternative financial infrastructure, if there are new rails and the U.S. doesn't have the same influence on that, it is not sort of at the table when new standards are being laid, then that impacts U.S. economic statecraft. Sanctions, the ability to sanctions, the potency of our sanctions power comes from the centrality of the U.S. to the financial global infrastructure. So if that shifts, even if it shifts a little bit, doesn't mean that China is going to take over or that the yuan is going to displace the dollar. But if there's a viable new rail where sanctioned actors can now transact, that's trouble.
And the one thing that I do want to take from this is the fact that they're trying to lighten the mood. They're trying to say, hey, you know, China's not ahead of us. China's not doing this. China's not, you know, whatever. It's all nonsense. Listen, outside of the U.S., things have been moving extremely fast. And in fact, as we do focus on crypto innovation, CBDC innovation, whatever you want to call it, however you want to look at it, we are starting to see a massive shift and a massive race as well. He does say that it's not necessarily a race, but in my opinion, it is. And it is a major one. Even just recently, the Bank of England has been mentioning their digital pound for a while. They've been talking it up. They've been discussing it, which, by the way, I've talked to you guys about my concerns with CBDCs. I don't want to sound like a broken record in every single video where I do mention CBDCs, and I have to give you guys my insight on what I think about CBDCs, if I think that they're bullish or bearish. I've talked about it many times on this channel, and my opinion is very, very transparent on this. But as we do focus on this, nations are getting ready to go live. All it takes is one CBDC to go fully live. And I mean fully live, not trialing, not doing this, that. One fully live CBDC and a wave will come crashing down where we see CBDCs going live everywhere. And I mean, it's going to be a global approach. A lot of people have made in the past videos and discussions around a flip the switch event. Yeah, that will be essentially, in quotation marks, the flip the switch event, where every nation goes live with a CBDC. Now, what will be needed? A bridge. Every single CBDC will need to be bridged. They will need a currency where it settles those CBDCs together. Atomic settlement will be crucial. I only know one way that that is made possible. A bridge currency. A bridge currency is needed. And in my opinion, that will be XRP if we get to that point. And Ripple has been adamant about this for so long. You go and look at this post just from recently, just from yesterday alone. Interested in learning about CBDC use cases? Hear from James Wallace, Ripple's VP of Central Bank Engagements and the winners of the 2022 CBDC Innovate Challenge, who built novel apps across retail, financial inclusion, and interoperability. And you can see everything around this. Everything. You can see the discussions. You can see their plans around this. And when you go and look at, for an example, like David Schwartz talk about CBDCs, or even Brad Garlinghouse talk about CBDCs, everything that you see around them, they always mention that it needs to have some sort of bridge currency. It needs to have a settlement bridge between it. Even when you go onto Ripple's website and you go to central bank digital currency, I've shared this many times. If you watch this video, you go to like 75% in, they do talk about XRP being the bridge currency, because XRP is the perfect asset to settle any two things of value. It could be two CBDCs, it could be two stable coins. It does not matter. XRP could 100% be that token. And the best way to look at this is even with the cross-border payment scheme, where XRP is at the center point between two major currencies and two major even banks. So with all of that in mind, yeah, I do believe that the U.S. has severely fallen behind. I think that every nation outside of the U.S. is taking advantage of this, although we want to sit around and talk about how, hey, yeah, you know, China's not doing much, blah, 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 whatever. It's all nonsense. We know it's all nonsense. We know that the BRICS are moving extremely fast. We know that the sanctioned areas that we have sanctioned through SWIFT, we already know that they are conducting trade and transactional payment flows and cross-border payments outside of the US dollar. They're already doing this. It's already live. These are not, you know, discussions. These are legit facts. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. So I hope that you all have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Wherever you guys are on this before, this has been Nick. Peace out, guys.